Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special episode tonight. The Wrestling Wire presents TCW Monsoon. This is the live stream preview show that we have for this upcoming event. It's coming up next Saturday, the 13th. Did I get that right?
Yeah,
is it the 13th?
Yeah.
It is. Look at
you have
that.
the poster? Show the poster.
Yeah, I do. I do have the poster. You know this? I actually have the poster. That is a phenomenal looking poster.
Yeah, whoever does their poster work does a phenomenal job. They're always putting up like high match feel posters, and that looks amazing.
I like my guy in the middle with the fire coming out of his hands. That looks freaking sick. I think whoever did their poster work is on par. So this is coming up in Jersey, man.
Yeah, and it's what a place for wrestling, man. It's huge. The fan base up there is crazy, let me tell you. And the fact that TCW is spreading out from Jersey, coming down south, going up north, it shows to see the quality of work and the quality of talent that they have.
Well, that area of the country's always been ravenous with fans. PA, New York, New Jersey, their fans have always been just, I don't want to say animals, but they've always been pretty up there and out there, man. Like they know what they want, they know what they like, and they're here to take it. So, but either way, let's bring on the guy behind this. Let's bring on the owner. Hey, welcome to the show, sir.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me here, man. Wrestling Wire. I'm excited to be here tonight.
Yes,
well,
sir.
It's a pleasure and an honor to have you back again. I think this is technically the second time that we have you on here.
Yeah, it's the second time. It was actually supposed to be the third, but I had a big problem the last time. But Steve Mack jumped in for me. But man, this is awesome, man.
What a fun show that was. The guy was a talker. He kept us going with some of the awesome stories and behind the scenes stuff. So that was pretty cool to have him on. Thank you for that, by the way.
No problem,
man. So 4th anniversary show. This is huge, and I'm not sure how we ended up connected with you. I know we've got a couple of mutuals that we've had in contact with or we've worked with in the past, but it's just like, we predominantly deal in stuff, Southeast. And here we are talking with somebody in the Northeast. And this show, when I got these match posters sent to me to get prepped and ready for this and have all these things lined up and laid out, I was like, how big is this show? Because I just felt like the card was never ending. I was like, man, it's insane. The amount of talent, the amount of people you have on here. It's looking to be a phenomenal event.
Yeah, I was actually just saying that as I was sending it to you. I was like, every one of these matches looks like a big main event, big fight feel. So good job on that, putting that together.
Thank you. It was challenging to put this one together. I mean, we keep it within time. We do have the one pre-show for our YouTube channel that we always put up. Then we have the 2 segments. I believe we have 11 matches, but I mean, we're down to the wire at 3 hours. I mean, a super show for the 4th anniversary event. I mean, we had to go all out, and that's what we did.
Wow, 3 hours. You don't hear out of that except for the big boys. You don't hear of 3-hour wrestling shows except for the big ones on TV. You hear
it's challenging because after 3 hours, people after the 2-hour mark, they tend to leave, and it tends to thin out the crowd and all that. It's about keeping their butts in the seats. If I always our announcers and everything else always tell them, hey, this is going to be a longer show. We tell them pre-hand that this is definitely going to be a longer show. It's 3 hours. You don't want to miss the action, and then we constantly keep the action going. So we don't bring it downwards with long talk segments unless we have an actual segment announced.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Well, so you actually do have one. It appears one talk segment announced for this. It's the Entertainment Lounge.
Yeah, man, this is the second one for Harry Tarjanian, and let me tell you something. The first one, when he did the first entertainment lounge, I mean, it was phenomenal. People, they fell in love with it. It was only natural we go with it again. Uh, you know, it was such spark behind it. The debut of the entertainment lounge was at the Aftermath and with PJ Savage, and here we go. On Saturday night on the 13th, the entertainment lounge is introducing Face.
Okay.
I respect it, and I kind of like it how it kind of brings everything together. It kind of gives you that pay-per-view feel of having somebody on, doing some interviews, getting interactions. It's extra content for you. It's extra content for the talent. I want to get back to something Ron said. Like, this is 4 years, 4 years in the making, man, and you're coming down to this big event, your Super Bowl, your WrestleMania event. What's that mean to you from the start of this production to where you are now?
It means a lot. Over the past 4 years, we've seen the growth of Titan Championship Wrestling, not just from myself, but from the entire team, for everybody that's been here since day one, that has built Titan to where it's at currently. For a company that they said, you got to remember something. When we debuted Titan Championship Wrestling, we debuted them January 11th of 2020. We had 2 shows went into COVID lockdown. We were locked down for 3 months. So nobody expected Titan to come back. Not that we just didn't come back. We came back the first one out the gate. We came back with the Drive-In Brawl, which was in June of 2020. And we haven't stopped since. For a company that they said it probably wouldn't last 6 months, we're going on to our 4th year. This is our 51st event.
Wow.
So
51 events in 4 years.
Yeah.
Good grief. Y'all made up for lost time with that 3 months down of COVID then.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know what to expect. I mean, in June of 2020, you weren't allowed to have crowds.
Right.
So the Oceangate EMS, they wanted to do a fundraiser. They were, they based on they get their funds through donations.
Mm-hmm.
And their stock was depleting. They needed the extra money to help with their stuff. And, they came up with the idea of, hey, can we put the ring in the park? And can we still get people? I said, the only way we could do that, it was actually Charlie that put that together. The only way that could do that is for people to be in their cars and watch a wrestling show. So what was supposed to be an 8-match show ended up a 16-match show. So, but nobody left. The awesome part was Charlie got super innovative. He went out and he bought an FM transmitter. So not only could you sit in your car and watch wrestling, you could actually listen to the commentary through your car speakers.
Wow.
So you didn't miss nothing.
That was smart.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a long show, and I mean, it was a long day, but I mean, not one complaint because, nobody's seen anything in the past 3 months, So it was awesome. And thank God here. I don't knock on wood, I guess. Since June of 2020 to this current day, Titan Championship Wrestling only has canceled 1 show, and that was only due to weather because we weren't allowed inside the building. So it was raining and lightning. There's no way to have the show.
Right.
So we only had to cancel 1 show. So out of, a long time now, this June will mark 4 years. We've never canceled a show.
That says a lot. That's amazing, and it says a lot to your fan base, how dedicated they are. And I'm not surprised to have such a stat card, to have that amount of talent, to be able to show off their prowess in the ring, and how you guys put them together. I don't know who helps you with the booking, but fantastic booking, by the way, because y'all, I got a taste of it when you guys came down here for the Andre the Giant Memorial, and it was a hell of a show you guys put together. And I hope to see more of that.
Thank you. You will.
And I got to ask, we talked a little bit about sponsorship and talked about, we had a little discussions on the side. So I got to ask, tickets are still on sale for this, right? You said that pre-sale tickets ended this past Friday. If correct me if I'm wrong.
No, the Friday before the show. So on November. Wow, I'm still last year. On January 12th at 8 p.m., the pre-sale tickets will end. However, we still have very, very limited front row seating. We have second row, third row, fourth row, and bleacher seating. I mean, this venue is 10,000 square feet. So it's a very big building.
It's a huge building. So you heard that, folks, ladies and gentlemen. Tickets are running out fast right now. This is your chance to try to win some tickets through us right now. Hit that like, hit that share, get on here, watch, put something in the comments. One of you guys is going to win tickets to this show. If you're within the, let's see, put up the poster again, because I want to make sure that we get the venue here, get venue here right. There we go. 4-year anniversary show. And that's going to be at the Greek Orthodox Church on Church Road. So if you're near the area, you want to win tickets, you're missing out on an awesome, awesome show if you're not there.
Toms River, New Jersey. I would go as far to say if you're in the New York, New Jersey, maybe even Delaware area.
Or PA. Because PA is not that far.
Is that an hour. Well, all right. If you won, I would tell you this. I've won tickets to go, a couple states and gone. A couple states away to go, to go to a show or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you're a fan and you're in that area and you're trying to go, why not hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and get your shot at winning tickets right here on this show? Mm-hmm. This is actually the first time we've ever done this, where we're giving away tickets.
So we appreciate that. And the way that we have it out, so you win, we give your name to Billy. Billy will see you at the door to make sure you guys get in.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then Amber said, let's do Titan in North Carolina again. Amber, look, I'm down with that because I can be in North Carolina in about 45 minutes, okay? I can be there in about 45 minutes. Charlotte's a hard 90, but I can be in the state line in 45 minutes.
Let's see. Scott said, I would love to go to Jersey to see some wrestling. Scott, you're missing out. These guys are awesome.
Scott's a little bit closer to North Carolina line than I am, but he's still here.
Good point. Good point.
Appreciate you, Scott. He always does give us credit for producing good shows. I got a lot of my podcast knowledge from Scott Larson and another guy named Tom Clark. Were the two main guys I watched before. I
was about to just follow up with a question. Family friendly. Would you call Titan Championship family friendly here, Billy?
I would. 100%. There's something for everybody here. And that's, we go through that whole genre of, whether it's kids, adults, the ones that are looking for hard hitting action. I mean, Titan Championship Wrestling is now going in what we call the Savage era. A little more in your face, a little more blurred lines, a little more bended rules. We're just kicking it up a notch with amplifying who and what we are. Obviously with no fear. Titan Championship Wrestling, on every show we want to bring that laughter, we want to bring that anger, we want to bring that the smiles, the emotions, the emotions, right, through an entire card for the fans, and that's structured wise, that's what we do.
Fantastic. If you like, I like to bring a guest on. Actually, he was actually my partner during the Andre the Giant celebration. Phenomenal commentary. Just the back and forth that we had. The fact that we were able to click that quickly and work that well in such a high tension, high intensity situation, because we kind of just thrown together at the last second, and it was magic.
Ladies, it was amazing.
Thank you. That means a lot. Still looking for that. I was actually trying to find that show today because there was a lot of highlights between me. This upcoming guest. Coming to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Alex. Alex, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, David. I was just reminiscing about that show. I was just admiring my commemorative poster here, listening to you guys from the green room.
That's right.
So you're going to be there that weekend, right?
I am, yeah. I am Titans play-by-play commentator. So I've been at every show since this past March. So coming up on 1 year with you guys. It's hard to believe it, but it's flown by.
Yeah, it's really gone really crazy how quickly it's gone by. So 4 years in the making. You've been here. You just beat my second question. Been there for about a year now. How's that changed coming up to this big ceremony here for 4 years, coming to this big major event? You got to be excited for it.
Oh, I'm beyond excited. This is going to be my first show of 2024. And like Billy said, we're in a new era, the Savage era. Even before I started with Titan as a commentator, I was still following the product. And I can say right now that the shows that we've been putting on, the run that we've been on, particularly in this last year or so, we're really setting the bar for what independent wrestling can and should be. It's the 4-year anniversary show. It's the biggest building we've ever run. It just has this really big fight feel to it, and I'm super excited to be a part of it.
Awesome. Let's get into the card. It's a pretty big card, and well put together. We can go through some of the matches if you like. First one right off the bat. Can you tell us a little bit about this one? As this matchup being the I'm not really familiar with Crone, but I have seen a little bit of stuff of Elijah Eden here. So what can you tell me here?
Well, it's interesting that you say that because we don't exactly know a lot about Cronin either.
Really?
As of right now, he showed up at Aftermath, which was our show last month. We had been receiving a series of these cryptic videos with like full moon and night sky and things like that. Showed up, absolutely demolished TKO Kaseko, which admittedly I was pretty happy about that. I don't like TKO.
So was I, actually.
Yeah, but still sent a message to the rest of the locker room. Still not exactly sure what he wants here at Titan. What he wants, is he after championships? Is he after blood? We're not exactly sure who or what he is, but definitely going to face some opposition against Elijah Eden. Elijah Eden has definitely endeared himself as a fan favorite, particularly our younger fans. Something about the masks, the lucha masks. It's always wins over the kid. So
I'm not gonna lie, that's what brought me into.
Yeah.
I wanted to see more. I'm like, oh, see what else could he do? It seems like it's been a pretty good matchup because I mean you really don't know much about Cronin, and I think they might have the advantage here because we really haven't seen much. So that might be a really big obstacle that Elijah is going to have to go up against because he's going to have to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, Cronin looks sadistic, and I mean, you mentioned a moment ago that you're not sure what he wants. I wouldn't want to be Eden trying to find out what Cronin wants.
Yeah, I think Eden is taking Cronin for who and what he is a little lightly. I hear, Eden has turned around and said that Cronin better watch out for him. This is a supernatural. I mean, you can see how evil and sadistic Cronin is. I mean, he was phenomenal against TKO. So, I mean, so overpowering, and TKO more or less didn't have a chance. Again, TKO wasn't ready for it either, but it was, Alex really appreciated that. But Eden, he's got his work cut out for him.
Right.
And already, I mean, like we said, like just the look and feel of the posters, it looks amazing, this match card. And I can't wait to get into the rest of them. Great setup. I like it.
Oh, yeah. Let's see here. Jay Bougie. Did I get that
Alex,
right?
by your reaction, Alex, I don't think you're happy with this matchup.
No. Bougie and I got beef, but that's neither here nor there for the intents and purposes. I will continue to do my job as a professional.
Mm.
Really.
I like that guy. I like this guy.
What guy?
You. I like
Oh,
you.
me? Thank you. Thank you.
Good. Continue to do your job professionally, even in the face of animosity. I love it. That. Look,
gotta
you
respect
put
it.
professional in front of professional wrestling.
This is true.
We're that same blood, same mud, my friend, right there.
I'm nothing if not a company man. You hear that, Billy? Pat my load, please. But yeah, Jay Bougie, he's not even paying attention. Jay Bougie versus Richport Ayala. Richport Ayala is making his debut. I've been researching him a little bit in the lead up to the show, but looking forward to seeing what he can do. Jay Bougie made his debut in Titan last month as well at the Aftermath, defeated Jay Outcast, and then got into a very violent brawl with our champion, PJ Savage. They have a lot of history together. Jay Bougie and PJ Savage, they were part of the Takeover faction, who absolutely dominated the New York, New Jersey scene for much of, I would say, like 2021 to 2022. So there was like a solid 2-year period where they were, just going company to company collecting gold. They went their separate ways. A lot of internal tension, as is often the case when you have,
different views and
Icarus
opinions.
flying. Also, like Icarus flying too close to the sun.
Their own
once you gain
hubris.
power. It's like the Beatles. Like
it happens.
They blow up and then people go their separate ways. So obviously, still some lingering animosity. But Jay Bougie facing Richport Ayala, interesting match. I'm not exactly sure what to expect from it. I do believe that I don't expect Jay Bougie to fight fair, but
I gotta say I do like Ayala's style. It kind of looks like my style. Reminds me of a Primo in NWA here. I'm liking the look. So just on looks alone, I feel like Ayala might win this one because he looks smooth. You know what I mean? Like he has the potential to pull something.
Let's see it. He's giving me
technical.
He's giving me a Bad Bunny a little bit. Bad Bunny aesthetic.
I can see it. See it. But I'm seeing a lot of new faces here, especially after the Aftermath event. And I think that's really cool to see these clashing of these new faces and old faces of Titan coming together. And ironically enough, for such a huge event for a 4-year anniversary, what a great way to kind of bring together the old, so to speak, and the new of Titan and going forward in the new year.
Yeah, it's a transitional period, and transitional periods are always exciting. You have new faces coming in, you have the old guard, as it were, trying to show that they're not going anywhere. So it's an exciting time, and it's giving us some matchups that just a couple months ago we wouldn't have thought we'd ever see.
What else we got, Ron? Let's move on to the next one. Vinny. Vinny versus Joey. That is going to be a hell of a match. I follow some of Vinny's stuff, and let me tell you, Vinny Pacifico is a hell of a competitor. This man puts his heart into it, and he's a scrappy dude. Holy crap. This is going to be a hell of a match. Calling that one's going to be hard. This could go either way. Both of these guys can go.
Vinny Pacifico is someone for sure that I have earmarked. Like 2024 is his year, without a doubt. We're getting him at a time where he literally just got back from Japan last week, from wrestling in Japan. So international star. This is his debut, right, Billy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was scheduled for a previous show, and then something happened, so now this is his official debut. Yeah,
this is his debut. So we're excited to have Vinny Pacifico there. You know, and Joey Conway is another phenomenal wrestler.
Oh, these guys are gonna clash.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Joey Conway's the win. Wrestling is now heavyweight champion. So this is going to be
Wrestling is now heavyweight champion and also one of the final 4 of the Mount Olympus Rumble back in November. So definitely impressed us. That was his debut at Titan, was back in the Mount Olympus Rumble. So definitely impressed us by going the distance there. Looking forward to seeing him in his singles debut now. And what a dance partner he's got in the form of Vinny Pacifico.
Wow. Oh, thanks for the setup there, Ron. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, and well, you know, there are 2 additional guests in the green room, and I already formatted this to add both of them to the screen as well. And it's evened out. I got real bad OCD. Stuff's got to look kind of right. So I want it to look as good as it can. And if you wanted to bring on the additional guests, we have room to make them on screen as
you know what?
well.
Bring on the monster himself, Mr. Matt, because he's been. I could see you with our other guests here in the green room just waiting. Yeah, bring him on. Let's do it. Let's make it.
Monster Mac, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing tonight?
What a pleasant surprise.
Thank you. I'm just listening to the comments, and I got to tell you, Joey Conway is somebody that I see is on the rise, not only in independent wrestling, but on the Northeast, where it's the tightest of competition. And, usually you could see these things, when you've been around a while. And him and Vinny are 2 guys that are, for the longest time, been putting in the work, but now it's starting to pay off that work. So I think this is going to be something, especially like Alex said, Vinny just came back from Japan. I'm very much looking forward to this match. And one other thing that I want to bring up, because I was listening way back when you guys were talking about Cronin. Interesting story. When he made his debut, I like when people have real emotion and are affected. But when he made his debut, as he made his entrance, he had little kids crying because they were so scared. And to me, that is the greatest feeling in the world, because I love when kids cry and I love when they see something. Because, think about it. When we were kids and we saw like One Man Gang or Kamala, we were like, oh no, they're going to destroy Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Cronin brought that out just by coming out. And to me, that's like the greatest thing that you can do as a pro wrestler. So,
action. Yeah, we're talking about that earlier, the emotion, right?
Yep,
yes.
The emotion.
Speaking of emotions, I'm having trouble seeing the emotions of our other guest here. He's been quite stoic, just kind of sitting there. Should we bring him on, Ron? See what he thought.
Yeah,
thoughts here. I like the.
He's very relaxed. He's got some heavy shoulders there. It appears there's a lot of gold on those shoulders.
Is he in a rocking chair?
I can't say much. I'm in a rocking chair recliner, so
I need to get myself a rocking chair.
From the reaction,
Steve, I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link for this one. You'll like it. Heat, massage, the whole gambit.
I'm all about it.
Well, Frankie, what do you feel of that that reaction coming on here on the show? And thank you for coming on, by the way.
Oh man, what to expect? Some people's not going to love me. Some people going to hate me. I really don't care.
I like that. That's fair.
The fact is, we have 3 people up in here now. Alex, he's the mouthpiece. He's that guy that tells everybody their stories. That he's that guy that tells everybody who they are. But the problem is, and the real truth is Alex really telling the truth about everybody? Is he really telling the real story of the real people? Or he's just getting paid to tell these stories? Then you have a legend. A legend, look, I'm not going to not going to sit there and talk trash about this guy because I admire him. I respect him. I look up to him. Hell, I even got advice from him, man. See, Monster Mac is a guy. He's one of the guys that made me want to wrestle.
I can
So
see that.
in that case, I like to say thank you, Mac.
Sure, Frankie. No
Thank
doubt.
you, Mac.
Sure.
I feel some animosity here.
Well, no, I mean,
no,
listen.
no,
The whole
there's no
here's the whole
animosity.
thing. Here's the whole thing. Frankie's super talented. Frankie's very smart. Frankie is a when he's motivated, Frankie can move mountains. But the problem that I have with Frankie is that in wrestling, you have to wait your turn. When it's your turn and you get the green light, you run, right? There have been times that Frankie's been given the green light and he didn't put his foot on the gas. Now, he's trying to make things happen on his own and force the issue. Listen, I'd be all for Frankie getting a shot at PJ Savage if it came down to it, because I think that would be a great match.
Less money.
But at the same time, when you're in my position as the GM, it becomes annoying when everywhere you turn, there's this shadow that keeps on pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's like, dude, calm down. You know what I mean? I already got enough problems. Guys like SP Anderson and Jeff Noyes, who, trust me, Billy knows how much I want them done, but it don't happen that way, right? There's other guys out there who I can't stand, but you deal with it. You're professional. With Frankie, he pushes it to the point where you want to slap him in the face and be like, all right, now we good? Let's settle. But it's not going to happen that way because Frankie's got his own agenda.
Well,
So,
I got to give you. Let me do counterpoint there. You know what they say: the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I say that all the time. I say it all the time to Billy. The squeaky wheel does get the oil. Look at him. Frankie's dripping in gold right now. Right now, Deadly Sin's dripping in gold, right? Mm-hmm. The problem is that they want to take over Titan. Matt. Oh, no, of course. Listen, Matt, when you was a rookie, I gave you advice. I got in the ring with you.
Yes. And I give you the thanks. You said sometimes, man. Yeah. Sometimes you have to stand up for yourself. You have to grab this company by its balls. And you said that. You said that to me 1,000 times. You said sometimes you have to be that hungry guy to take what you want. Yep. And I took heed to that voice. I took heed. Listen to it, Billy. I'm not saying nothing wrong. Mac agreed to top to the bottom of it. After every match that I've been through, I said, hey, Matt, what do you think about my match? Critique my match. Make me better. And I listened, and my eyes is open because of Mac's talk and everything that I see of Mac. I've been watching his history. I've been looking when he was in ROH. I've been looking everywhere. Him and his partner used to demolish, murder people. With the aggression. Oh, man. How many times I told you about that wall? How many people you put through that wall? You everywhere you went, everybody all your opponents that you come by, that you see, that everybody sit there and they have their head down when they see you. Because they remember the history of what you and your partner did. They remember the monster. That's the reason. I studied you. I took notes. And then I got tired because I was that good little boy that was sitting down there following the book, following the rules and everything. And then I saw everybody just sitting there that just starts and then go right past me. And then I see people stabbing people on their backs. When everybody giving them a pat on the shoulder, and then they look at that person and was like, man, I'm glad that you still here. I'm glad right there. Yeah, because I was that good little boy. When is enough is enough? Matt, because of you, that third eye opened. Now, as far as PJ Savage is that guy. And you want to know why I admire PJ Savage that much? But you want to know why I dislike PJ Savage that much? It's because PJ Savage was me. He was hungry. He was a tiger. No, yet something better, a lion. He became that top guy. And I have no problem with PJ. PJ's a good little boy. He reminds me when I was a good little boy. I was in school, give the teacher an apple. But I'm not PJ Savage. I'm Frankie Picard. Learned from the best. I came to a tough school. I started in CZW. I grew up. Best damn trainer, Drew Gulak. But I need to learn more. So I studied you. I studied you. People like you, Low Life Louie, Matt Tremont. Oh, let's not say Nick Gage. Nick Gage. Everybody that I admired, everybody that I stepped to, everybody that I examined, made me realize I'm going to take this world by storm. In 2023, I told Billy, I told you, Matt, give us what we want. And you look.
Well, listen. You're getting. But you see, this is the difference. This is the difference between you and PJ Savage, right? You're sitting there. What's the difference? He's a good boy, just like you was a good boy. You know what? PJ Savage didn't stab anybody in the back. PJ Savage didn't play mind games. PJ Savage didn't get someone's girlfriend to turn on them. You know what I'm saying? So you did. You took the cheap way. And listen, I applaud you for doing what you got to do to make it in this business, right? Mm-hmm. I will never tell anybody that they're wrong for doing it their way, because 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm sorry. Let me get that. Let me start that. 2 + 2 = 4, but so does 1 + 3. You know what I'm saying? There's multiple ways of doing stuff in this business. Mm-hmm. But if you want to be someone that people look at and talk about for decades instead of just years, you do things honorably. PJ Savage got his opportunity and didn't have to take a shortcut, and he built his way up. PJ Savage come from losses. He come from learning hard lessons. Trust me, I gave him a hard lesson early on in his Titan career. That it motivated him a year later to become Titan Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to shortcut or play mind games. He did what he had to do. And that's where, when I see you and Ben Castle and Blocks and everybody else in your group, when I see you guys, it's like, man, these guys got talent and they got skill and they could talk. But the problem is they're going about the business the wrong way. You can say whatever you want to say about me and Moff, or me and Kyle the Beast, or me and Low Life Louie, or anybody, G's, Joker, anybody that I was a tag team champion with. One thing we never did was take opportunities by shortcuts. We always, whatever opportunities we saw, we took them, we grabbed the bull by the horns, and we wrestled that bull down. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between being a man and being a legend. Because when you're a legend, you don't take the cheap shots. When you're a legend, you do things the right way. I tried to show you when you was younger, because I saw all the potential in you, Frankie. I saw all the love for wrestling and all the skill. But you didn't want that. You wanted it the quick and easy way. And you got it. Look, like I said, you dripped in gold right now. And that's good for you. But it's not going to last. It's never going to last when you take the shortcut. And I'm sure everybody on this panel can agree with me that they've never seen anybody who take a shortcut last.
Mac, you're talking about a dream world. You're talking. This is reality. Let me tell you right now, I am a most dangerous striker in all sports entertainment. I am the super American celebrity boxing champion in a whole different sport. Man, look at this. Look at the tag team. Just one step away from climbing up to the top. And once we get there, all that I'm going to do is look down at you, Mac. And I'm going to smile with my head up proud and say, I climbed this mountain. You keep saying it's a short way. But no, all that I did was what you would do. I blew that mountain up.
I gotta ask.
I went through it.
I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts on what Frankie's saying? Do you agree with him that he had to take another route to get your attention? Does he
Listen,
have your attention?
27 years in February, I've been in the wrestling business, right?
Mm-hmm.
27 years, I've had over 90 different titles from coast to coast to worldwide with 15 different partners. I never, sometimes I was the bad guy, and sometimes people booed me because I viewed things differently, right? But for the most part, when it comes to being in pro wrestling, I've tried to do everything right by the people that I work with, the people that I work for, and the fans, right? Because the fans are the ones who ultimately decide who comes back next month and who doesn't. Those are the ones who ultimately decide what our fate is in this business. We could put on 5-star matches for the Tokyo Dome, but if we're in Omaha, Nebraska, and they want to see a good old wrestling match, well, then they ain't going to applaud no 5-star Tokyo Dome match. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You got to learn to adjust and do what you got to do. Frankie, listen, like I said, he's got the skill and ability because I know I've seen him train. I've been in the ring with him. I know what he can do, but he wants this. He's like this new generation of kids. They all want this fame fast as you could get it without putting in any work. That's what all the Deadly Sins is all about. Deadly Sins has got super talent. Go, who's going to talk?
That was great. I was going to mention is like, what about your partners here in crime, Frankie? How do you feel about your matchup with the Deadly Sins and their matchup?
And they're
for this
all
event?
family. They all see everything. They see everything that I told them. They believe in what we are doing, what we are achieving right now. I mean, I don't know if you saw the promo, but anybody could be a sin. Everybody. It could be your closest friends. It could be your family. It could be your loved ones. You could probably wake up and it probably might be your kids. Anybody.
Apparently, girlfriends count too.
I mean, the shoe fits really, right?
Yeah,
I mean, ask Billy.
Listen, all I'm saying is last month, though, Daniel Riley took your boy Ben Castle to the limit. That both of them was laid out on the floor because that street fight was rough. They did a lot of things that we haven't seen in Titan. You know what I'm saying? And Ben Castle hasn't been around for a while. He's got some stuff going on in his brain. You know what I mean? So what's the deal if, let's say, Daniel Riley all of a sudden he remembers what happened last month and he decides to take it out on you? What are you gonna do? You gonna sit there and fight him, or you're gonna back up? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff that as a GM that I'm looking at. How you respond to a threat. Because Deadly Sins might be the top dogs, but the Throne's been around a hot minute and they got some momentum behind them right now.
I was just about to say that. How do you feel about your opponents? Your opponents could come in and come out of nowhere. And do you think there's a chance you might lose those titles coming up?
And I am that guy that will sit there to anybody's face, including Daniel Riley. And I tell him, hell, I even put him over. I was like, man, it took him a while to realize that inner beast, that inner animal that's inside of him, to realize that he had to go through that, to actually realize that he can be free in this world, that he can do whatever he wants, that he can be that real Daniel Riley. He realized it. You want to know one thing that was funny? After that match, I smiled. I looked at you and smiled. You thought that I was going to go and I was going to slap him in the head with a chair. You thought I was going to slap Daniel Riley with a chair. But no, I smiled because this is with me. This is my life. This is pride. This is how I feel. My pride. That guy showed me everything that you can even imagine, plus more. Them two guys threw everything, the house, the kitchen sink, anything that you can call, they threw everything on their line. The bodies, the marks, the bruises, they did it all. I wasn't upset with Daniel Riley. I was so happy to see that side. And you want to know one thing? Not too long ago, KC brung out, he aired a promo that he wanted that. He told you He told you, give me the same thing that y'all gave him. And I mean, Daniel Riley and Ben Castle, that type of match. He wanted that. He felt that.
I gotta ask.
The reason.
Gotta ask Frankie, what do you feel about your opponents? What's one thing you want to tell your opponents right now for this matchup?
Oh, okay. Well, then that's easy. That's real, man, plain and simple. The Throne, Jack. I want 1,000% from you. If you're not, then this is not your area. You might as well pack your bags and go. We're living in the real world that all the monsters can take control. Y'all want to be titans. Y'all want to become titans. Well, titans is just gods that are meant to be destroyed. Titan proud, Titan strong. I've seen all this. I've seen it from everybody. But yet and still, their inner potentials haven't been screaming out. They're calling, they're screaming inside that they want to be out. They want to be released. They want to throw everything on the table. And everybody just holds them back.
Well, I'm telling you right now, I just talked to Jack Martins this week. All right. Homeboy is ready. He's fired up. This is a big opportunity for him. It's a big spotlight. And I know Adam Ace, he's, before he joined Deadly Sins, I used to talk to Adam Ace. Adam Ace got a lot of fire in him too. But right now, I think Jack Martin's about to set that ass on fire because he's looking, he's hungry, and he's seeing that, hey, this is a spot and this is a good place for me to be, and this is a bunch of good fighters. You see how things have changed since I became GM. We're not just having wrestlers who just are around or local. We're having fighters come through. We're having men who want a chance, an opportunity to shine. You know what I'm saying? Jack Martin knows what's up. He knows if he got the Thrones back, they got his back. Go up against Deadly Sins and pull up the win. That's going to catch everybody's eye. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of that, because you said that, right? How many people did the Throne recruited? How many times they got stabbed in the back? How many times?
How many times did you talk to those people? How many times?
Started the Throne, and what happened?
How many times you sat there and you talked to people and you poisoned their mind, Frankie?
It's not poison. You can't poison something that if we're talking about reality.
I don't know, Frankie. I'm gonna be with I'm agreeing with Master Man on this one. I think the Throne is gonna dethrone the Deadly Sins coming up this matchup. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's open. It'd be good to be quiet for
it isn't the fact of think. I know they're gonna be dethroned.
Ooh,
damn. That's
Frankie, anything you want to tell the boss and the fans before we let you go? Because we do got to move on for the rest of these matches. It's
I got
big
you.
part.
I mean, Billy, you already know what's up. I mean, you talk. We talk on an everyday basis.
What you mean you talk on an everyday basis?
Stop fooling everybody, yo.
Planting seeds and he likes to
fooling them. Tell them the truth.
Sure.
Frankie, I don't sit there 2 seconds on the phone with you because of this. I can't stand how you try to manipulate a situation. You try to manipulate people, and you're not manipulating anybody else here. Okay, to believe in the fact that I am behind the Deadly Sins. Listen, Frank, for all intents and purposes, swallow your pride. Understand that the fact that I am not, by no stretch of the imagination, a deadly sin. I'm never going to be a deadly sin. I am Titan through and through. Yeah, you can laugh all you want. I want
everybody
Frankie,
around the world to know this, including you, Mac. Mm-hmm. The last podcast that he been in, he never answered it. He never 100% answered it straight down the line that he was a part of the sins. He never said a yes. He never said a no. Not even a maybe. Come on. How many times
he just said no here?
That sounded like a definitive answer.
No. You just said definitively no right there.
Yeah, no. Right. You see how he likes to switch things?
You see this, people? Only thing he can say. Here's Billy. Billy will sell you a car with no engine and tell you it runs. And everybody's going to believe every bit of it. Come on, Billy.
Get out of here.
We've been around each other for so long, and you know.
Stop with the BS.
A car with
Frankie.
those. Well, I mean, look, that would have worked in the Flintstones era, but
Yeah. Nah,
Well,
see, here's the
you at
thing.
the
Here's the thing
end?
about Frankie. Here's the thing, Frankie. You got to understand one thing. I've been down with Billy since before day one of Titan, right?
That's fact.
Billy and I talked for about a good 2 hours after a show one time, right? And he told me all his ideas and what he wanted to do. And that was all created in his mind with Titan, right? And I've been here for the ride since before day one. And I've seen everything that he's talked about be about, come true for Titan. All right. I've been there. I've witnessed it. I've seen it. So whatever you're saying, you're trying to make it like he's Eric Bischoff and he's down to join the NWO. But I can tell you this right now: for Billy, the Too Sweet Life is Titan. All right. And I'm sorry if I'm sounding mad cheesy or whatever, but that's how serious I'm taking that threat that Billy is down with Deadly Sins, bro. Seriously.
I mean,
That sounds
I will
like a
give
conspiracy theory to me.
I will give you so much credit for the Eric Bischoff NWO thing, as opposed to anything along the lines with that guy from that area that says "bro" a lot,
Bro.
and his last name rhymes with "bro," and he's a joke, bro.
Bro.
I don't like that guy, bro.
Listen, I showed everybody the proof before of what Billy is capable of. I have no problem showing it again. Billy,
Alex,
come on.
Alex.
I understand. Billy.
No,
Who's that?
Come on.
Well, I want to say thank you, Frankie.
Yes.
Any last words before you let you go?
Yes. I'm going to go and give me a nice little drink over there. And I guess, as Max says, sitting next to this hot woman that I keep stealing from or whatever. And I'm just going to call it a day. Happy New Year's 2024. Embrace your sins.
All I'm saying is, Frankie, work hard, do what you got to do, because if you don't, I will get motivated and take those tag belts from you.
I think he left. I think that was
That's
it.
fine.
That was
fine.
heated. That was a little
That's
uncomfortable.
fine.
Alex, you were speechless. You good?
Yeah, I'm taking this all in. Billy, I got some questions for you once we get offline here. But
Are you the
Questions
secret
for me.
backer of the Deadly Sins, Billy?
Questions for me.
I'm just listen. I mean, listen, that did sound like a pretty definitive, putting it to bed.
You do understand that Frankie has been trying to manipulate this for the past, I don't know, 2 shows to where it's like, well, Billy's, secretly behind the Deadly Sins. Absolutely not. Am I secretly behind the Deadly Sins? I have debunked 6, if not 7, of the things he tried to put out.
There's some strings being attached here, is what Alex is saying.
Well,
that just it's getting a
all
little.
right. I understand what Alex is getting at. However, after hearing Billy straight up say what he said, I have no reason to doubt Billy.
Well, I say this as a fellow promoter, right? When it gets to the point where the inmates start to run the asylum a little bit, it gets to a point where you face a decision. Do you beat him or do you join him? Right? Sometimes it's easier to just go with the flow.
Absolutely not. I've been kicked down. I've been pushed around. I've been, you name it. I've done it. I have never gone with the flow. I have never done it. Steve knows it. I take the fight, whether it's the hits, the punches, the nuclear bombs thrown at me, and everything else in this industry that has to offer in the past 7 to 8 years. And I've never once rolled over.
Peace.
Taking a break, I've never rolled over, but I sure to hell am not joining anything for the sake of to get away from a fight. I will fight tooth and nail and everything I've got. I've sacrificed my personal life for a fight.
Peace. I respect that. I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm a correspondent.
Hey, Alex, let me ask you something.
I have to.
Let me ask you something, Alex.
Questions.
Let me ask you something, right? Let me ask you something. Let's just play Fantasy Booker right now, real quick, right?
Oh boy.
Let's say you take all the Deadly Sins and you put them up against Monster Mac, PJ Savage, Daniel Alexander, The Throne. Who else you want to throw in there? Maybe a Joe Ocasio, or maybe Jack Martins, or maybe Joey Conway or Vinny Pacifico. Who do you think has the better odds? Exactly.
The only caveat to that would be the team having the team experience.
That's
Unless
what I
you're
was-
just talking about
that's what I
a
was
melee.
thinking.
If you're just talking about a beatdown, biker warfare looking shit, okay, then yeah, no. Then the mob rule of all the big boys is going to just bash the
This
city.
is what I'm saying. Listen, with the Deadly Sins, there aren't too many rules that are ever going to be followed. So knowing that, you have to know that it's going to be gang warfare, and we're just going to have to go guns blazing.
Let's catch up with some comments because wow, that got heated. I think if Billy got so upset, he left. Look what you did, Alex.
Billy does that to me on
Alright.
phone calls all the time.
All right. So Blocks is back. Said I gave y'all best moments for y'all commentary.
He
Okay,
did.
this is where I have to say through gritted teeth that the 6-man tag in North Carolina was
North Carolina,
I-
man.
I as much as I disagree with the Sins and what they're all about, I had a very fun time calling that match.
That was
It
great.
was a very good match.
Adam Ace said, "Be ready to see."
Hold on. So you're gonna mess that up. It's Adam Acevedo. Okay.
I
Say it
said
right.
Adam Ace. I was, cutting it short so I could get through it.
See, the problem is where they're one, whereas they're one, they come as a pack, and this is what
Like
they
roaches.
do. Yeah, it doesn't
Three
stop.
vanilla midgets get their heads cracked in.
Wow.
It's either cracked in or cracked up. I'm gonna go with cracked in because it makes more sense.
Also, Adam, it's 2024. They're vanilla little people.
This is true. This is true.
Dude, but
I
hold on,
like
Ace,
what Mike-
Alex. One thing. Didn't they just release I just saw a TV with a commercial with the word midgets with wrestling on it the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
So I don't know that. Hold on, we can phone somebody. My wife is technically on there on that list of people that's that short. I can ask
someone's
her.
looking for a heat in the home tonight.
I like Mike because he's always having these hard.
This is my doghouse. What are you talking
If it's
about?
becoming annoying, this is to you, Steve. If it's coming annoying, then make an ultimatum type of matchup. Do a matchup with a stipulation for the match he wants.
Well,
why not?
I mean, see, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. It's if it was just about one set of people, then yeah, you know what? To shut them up or to get them out of your hair. But you got to remember, on every Titan show, we have anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12 matches filled with the best talent that we can, assemble in one area. And a lot of these talents, look, Vinny Pacifico, Cronin, Joey Conway, Joe Ocasio, Flash Carter, PJ Savage, everybody that you're naming there, they could be a star in whatever company that you put them with.
Mhm.
So when that happens, you've got to be able to walk that fine line of balance. Alex, he could tell you as a promoter, you know what I mean? It's not easy when you got to deal with, 20, 40 different egos. I mean,
this is true. Everyone's fighting.
You got to manage that.
Hungry. Yeah, everyone's hungry, fighting for that position. They're playing pretty much king of the mountain at this point, trying to get up there. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Every major company that failed has been because they focus on just one or two rather than the collective. And you can't. I've been in this game way too long to not operate that way. So, when I see things as GM, I got to make sure that I walk that fine line of not giving this one too much attention and this one not enough attention. Because the one that you're not looking at is the one that stabs you in the back as soon as they can. That's what happened with Frankie. Frankie wasn't getting the love and the attention. Frankie came up with his own thing with Deadly Sins. You know what I'm saying? So you got to always be mindful of that stuff.
That's very true. Very true. We lost Billy, but let's keep going. Well, man, that was intense.
he's in the green room right now. He's got his microphone muted and his camera off, but he's still here. So if he wants to come back, I don't know how he would tell one of us, but he would tell one of us to do it.
We gotta watch what we
I think
say now.
Alex asked too hard of a hitting question.
Yeah.
I was going to say that means we got to watch what we say, Steve. He's
Oh, wow.
We
Listen,
want to keep our jobs.
Well, that's why Billy's always pissed at me every week because I tell him the truth. I don't care.
Oh, let's see here. Mac, tell him how it is. That's coming from Jeanette Erickson.
What up, Jeanette?
Fight. Jeanette was in the comments heavy.
Listen, Jeanette is DTF, down to fight. You know what I mean? She's ride or die Titan. So I know you was thinking something else. But no.
Yeah, you hit DTF and then ride or die Titan. I'm like, whoa, bro.
She will scrap. She will scrap though. Let me tell you, Jeanette, she's down to fight. You know what I mean?
Very good. She said the evolution of Titan Championship Wrestling Entertainment is insane. Shows the start of the Savage era. If you want to see guys bring out the Savage in themselves, they better be there next weekend.
1,000%.
Agreed.
Adam said, Frankie, let them know. Love how they set up other shows, matches during my match.
Oh, he's talking because he wasn't happy that stuff happened during his matchup, sounds like.
Well,
it's all good.
Billy and TCW management sent out Face in my match on purpose. Okay.
Face came out. Hey, Face asked for an opportunity, and I let him have it.
When Frankie talks, I hear the Peanuts teacher.
Yeah.
Alex, you look like you're thinking over there. He probably was. That's been about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, we saw the wheels are turning once Frankie started talking about what the little.
As long as we don't see smoke, it's okay. Wheels can turn. As long as we don't see smoke, we're good.
It's amazing how Adam Ace is doing a lot of talking on the keyboard right now.
I like that he thinks I'm a has-been.
Well, I was going to say,
yeah,
he was quiet as a church mouse not too many months ago. So I don't. Now all of a sudden,
I mean, and Adam, you can always get an invite to the show if you have something you really want to say. It's not hard.
And if he ever wants to talk personally to the has-been, I'll drop some knowledge on his ass.
There we go.
In ring in front of everybody too.
He said, "Embrace and go with the flow of deadly sins." So, see, Adam is agreeing with Alex over here.
Okay.
Listen, I'm.
You said it, Alex. You said it,
Alex.
That was really, you really put me in the spot with that, and you know what I'm saying. I get where you were going. It's easier to join than to be against, but this is the BS that it stirs now with these deadly sins. They take that and they capitalize on it and they run with it. It just makes matters worse.
All right, I will say now, for the record, set it straight, put this in the dirt sheets. All right, Billy Fetsky is a good man. He is a good businessman. He's taken care of me since I started at Titan almost a year ago. And I have a very hard time believing that he is in any kind of cahoots with Deadly Sins or anyone else.
I love cahoots.
Cahoots.
I'm a
It's a game.
Teacher. It's my favorite review game that I do with my students.
Yeah, I had to do a lot of it actually. So let's see here. Jason Maples chimed in. What is up? He's a Happy New Year's to everybody.
Happy New Year, Jay.
Happy New Year.
TKO in the house.
He was Legends in Tennessee.
Oh my God, he's just happy that I name dropped him on here.
Oh, TKO is
almost an hour ago. No life, TKO.
Oh my Lord!
He's
and then
like
here's Amber still in the crowd, so that's awesome. All right, let's see. We've covered the 6-man. Let's move forward. Castle versus Styles.
I'm liking Styles. It's a good style. No, but seriously, pun intended. These look like these guys can go. It looks like it's going to be a high action, a high octane, flying, technical. Tell me if I'm wrong, Alex, because I feel like this can pretty be the sleeper hit of the night, if you ask me.
Yeah, I actually have a question for our GM. What were you thinking here?
So this is the thing. Remember what I just said a few minutes earlier. Ben Castle, last year at this time, Ben Castle was a savage. He was killing everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I said that intentionally, savage, because he was on the same line, the same parallel line as PJ Savage. They were both on the come up, both hungry, versus both of them very vicious, hard hitting. Then Ben Castle's brain got scrambled, and Castle is, would Ben Castle have been in a position to be a double knockout last month if he was the same Ben Castle from 12 months ago? I don't think so. Ben Castle had that upward trajectory big time. All right. So now, knowing what I'm looking at, Stan Styles, listen, both of them punched me when we were in the Mount Olympus Rumble. Both of them kicked me, both of them hit me. I felt it. Stan Styles is very unassuming. Stan Styles likes to entertain. He likes to distract people with, the cream and the shake weight and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
but Stan Styles, he's jacked up. Yeah. Stan Styles is jacked, bro.
Yeah. He uses the shake weight a lot. So, he's built up the muscle.
Yeah, he's got that good muscle tone.
Okay.
He works off all those empty calories from all the whipped cream. Yeah.
From cream, yeah.
Listen, that whipped cream was slamming though. I had some. It was pretty good. But
so shenanigans are going to be afoot, Steve.
Of course. But that's Stan Styles' game. He throws people off. When was the last time he really lost a match? I don't think he's lost too many matches in Titan. So the reason I'm saying this is because Ben Castle, regardless of what his status is with Deadly Sins, he's still a Titan Championship wrestler. And he's got to do what I say. I feel like this is a great opportunity for Stan Styles to bump up. Or if Ben Castle takes it serious and gets back on that path, well, then Ben Castle might be able to show me something. I might be able to give him more opportunities at a title. I mean, I'm looking at this as potentially the next contender for the Mob Fight TV American Championship or even the Middleweight Championship, which we know has been like our version of the Intercontinental title for the last 2 years. Everybody who's held it has had, since the beginning, everybody who's held that middleweight title has been a massive contender. So who knows what this match could come from this match and for the winner of it. You know what I mean?
It's gonna be a messy matchup. It's gonna be a crazy matchup.
Push broom handy.
Yeah, pretty much. Make sure a mop is ready because the crowd's gonna love this match. This is gonna be the crowd favorite, guaranteed.
And this is what I was saying earlier too about only at Titan are you going to get matches like this. Ben Castle and Stan Styles, those are two names that you would never even expect to hear in conversation with one another, much less in the ring together. We're pushing things to a new limit. We're getting experimental. We're giving the fans these matches that, again, they never even thought about before. Stan Styles is somebody who has built up a cult following with the Intergender Bonanza and the CWO, the Creamy World Order, going against speaking of cult followings, Ben Castle, the Deadly Sins. So it's going to be an interesting match for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading the comments here from Tina, and she's dying laughing about it. The cream as somebody's getting creamed and getting cream pied. Listen, folks, you have your chance to win tickets for this show here tonight, and I can tell you one thing: normally you have to pay a whole lot extra for cream pies. Okay, that's all there is to it.
It's usually not even on the price list.
No.
Right.
That's the platinum tier. You got to be a big spender to unlock that.
Right. Yep. So please, be sure you're trying to win tickets from us tonight. And you got to let us know in the comments that you've followed all the prerequisites for winning tickets. You've hit the like, you've hit the share, you've hit the subscribe.
So even better yet,
by the way, Billy is back. He's waiting.
Yes, he's back. Oh, okay. I will bring Billy back in. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry about that, guys.
Oh, you're good.
No problem.
There's no way to stop the shoot job. Sometimes it just doesn't stop.
Hey, listen, my friend. I get it. Not welcome to the world. He's probably been working longer than you have. Oh,
This is true. This is true.
Jesus.
I was gonna say, welcome to the world of having a shoot job in wrestling was what I was gonna say, but then
He's been
we
there
all-
for a while too.
yeah. And
He
Frankie
opened
here,
Titan the same point in time I actually got into wrestling.
they fell for it, Billy. There's so much of a sheep. So here he's playing mind games here.
He's
Playing
yeah.
mind games.
That was so his next comment, listen, look, I'm gonna be predictive here. His next comment is gonna be, that's why I had to get off air so we could talk about what we're doing, and then now he can come back on. That's what he's gonna say next. He's gonna say next that Billy was off air talking to Sins about what they are doing and how the setup's going. That's why he wasn't on air. Oh my God. So, all right.
I would just like to point out, Frankie, as an English teacher, that your comment was grammatically incorrect. They are a sheep. Your subject-verb agreement is off, and
Yes, it is.
I'm docking points for that.
Listen, Alex is talking like a true legendary heel level teacher right now. I love it.
You get no gold stars, you lose your
F
banana
minus.
stickers.
Yep.
Next,
I gotta ask, what level of English do you teach?
I teach 9th grade English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they still make them kids read Great Expectations?
No. We just
For the-
finished. We just finished of Mice and Men.
For the
That's
love
a
of God, that
phenomenal
is
book,
great.
phenomenal movie.
Yes, sir.
What? Of Mice and Men?
Dude,
Yes.
we had
Okay.
to go when I was in school. At least it was like a month and a half of nothing but dissecting that book, and
It's great.
it was amazing.
We
Storytelling, brother.
went through Great Expectations for half the school year. The other half was Romeo and Juliet. So Great Expectations has a really special place on my shit list. That's just me.
I was more of a fellow guy myself, but
I think there's going to be a Titan Invictus production of Mice and Men.
I'm down. I'm down.
Who's playing Lenny?
I don't know, but I definitely want George.
so this is going to be an awesome matchup. Now, how do we go from? Well, it all comes back to wrestling, right? Telling stories. It's the
Yes.
emotion behind it. Look at that. See how I did that? I'm good at this. It's like I get paid for this.
It's like you knew what we was talking about all along.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing. I wing it.
I agree with
I'm with
Tina.
you. I make it up as I go along.
Yeah. This is going to be. Oh, actually, that's what I was going to do. Thank you. Never mind. You did it for me.
What a phenomenal match.
This is the match that I'm looking
Yes.
forward to. This is the match that I want to see who's going to be standing on top at the end of this match. Because everybody in this match, it's all AAA studs. You know, Andre Polino, he was roaming around. He really didn't have a direction. Then he had an opportunity, and he's taken the ball literally and ran for 80 yards for the touchdown every single time he's
I
been
gotta
out
ask,
there.
wasn't he at the Andre the Giant Memorial?
Yes, he
Yes, he
was.
was.
Yes, he was.
He was.
Yep.
He was the young blue chipper, David, if you remember, who decided to go toe to toe with TJ Marconi and Cyrus the Destroyer, like being all of 5'5".
He looked like a Dominican beach
yeah,
ball.
I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
They were playing Dominican beach volleyball with him in the Battle Royal.
I still, like, when I'm having a bad day, think about that. I think about him just going up being like, well, look at us, the 3 giants.
But see, no matter what, you can't bring his spirits down. You know how hard it is to find somebody like that? Because with wrestling, that part of wrestling, we talked about emotion before, part of wrestling that no one ever sees is when the show is over, the lights are off, the ring is packed, you go home and you're by yourself and you don't have that crowd cheering you on anymore. You don't have that, emotional support, and you go home and you got to deal with being yourself. And when someone like Andre, who's young, and he can just, no matter what life is throwing at him, he's still a proud Dominican man who just is happy to be himself and show everybody how great he is. You know what I'm saying? And then you got someone like Daniel Alexander. I've never seen kids, be happier to see a wrestler come out to wrestle than when Daniel comes out every time. Kids get up literally and start dancing as soon as his music hits. And that's, to me, that's phenomenal. You know what I mean? That's the sign of someone who's going to get to the next level. When you could connect with the kids like that, man, that's something that's rare in this business, especially with how. Yeah, exactly. Billy danced. You know what I'm saying? So when you can connect like that, you got something special, And then Justin Bon Jovi, he's definitely someone who is trying to take every opportunity that's given to him and run with it. And every time I've seen him, he's looked better in the ring than the last time. So you add a ladder to this match. This is going to bring ladder matches always bring out the best in everybody. Look at going back to WrestleMania 10. When did you ever think that one, I guess you could call it a prop, you could call it whatever you want to call it, one piece of equipment. When did you ever think that one thing that isn't living would give so much life to a match the way the ladder does? It brings out the best.
That's one of my favorite memories of ladder matches is WrestleMania 10, Razor and Michaels. Now, according to Bret Hart, they had been doing it before that.
They were.
But I think that was like the catalyst of ladder matches was that matchup.
Agreed. Agreed. And this is not just a ladders, it's a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Yes.
This can be pandemonium. And knowing how these guys move, there's gonna be a lot of high flying action.
The first TLC match in Titan history.
Yep.
So this is going to be a historical night in more ways than one.
Historical moment. Somebody's going to get thrown into the crowd. Somebody's going to fly to the outside. Someone's going through a table, guaranteed.
Well, Daniel Alexander, he wanted more. He reached out to me personally. And when he reached out to me personally, he wanted more. He wanted more than just a ladder. He wanted carnage. And he requested for the tables and the chairs, the tables and the chairs to be involved. So I, naturally, all right, champ, you got it, and I gave it to him.
What a way to elevate a title match, and even you just said it, Alex, the first one for this promotion. It's gonna go crazy. I think it's gonna be. This is the chance of a pandemonium and carnage.
No disrespect to the other guys who are on the card, but this is easily my pick for match of the night. Actually, there's one other that we didn't talk about yet that is also.
I've still got a handful to go through.
Yeah.
The only thing that I have yet to see that I think would be just really ridiculous, and I don't know if you're gonna find too many talents who are willing to do it. But can we put TLC inside of a cell? Like, is that a thing that people? Am I the only one who gets kind of a chub at that idea? I like the idea.
So how about this? If you had a cell and on the floor surrounding the entire area between the cage and the ring is a table set up. Every inch of the floor is a table set up. I mean, it'd be expensive as hell. But you got the cell, you got the tables all around, and then the ladders, you get like 4 ladders, and you just let them go nuts. I don't even think we need chairs.
I don't think we're gonna. I don't want to see that.
Let's put chairs in there. We can put chairs in there and hang a strap from the top of the cell.
I'm down. I like it.
I am too. And, well, tax season's coming up, so it can't be too expensive. Somebody out there is going to hear me. Somebody out there is going to hear this.
Let me just say, I'm pretty sure Alex and Billy can back me up. But finding a table in this day and age, 20 years past ECW's prime, is next to impossible. That's why doors are so common on indie shows now. So,
we use the hell out of doors.
Yeah,
use the hell out of doors. Yep.
Hey, doors
they
still
make
suck
great
the same.
noise. They make great noise.
They hurt too. That's
Alex,
the thing.
you look
Like, people don't expect it, but
No, I was just thinking. I like Mac's idea, but what if the ringside area inside the cell, instead of tables, it's a moat filled with alligators. You guys have
FMW.
alligators in North Carolina, right? I think that's like the farthest north they're found.
Yeah.
You guys
He's
can
right.
wrangle them up for us, right?
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm down.
I'm
yeah.
down.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
Like I
I-
said, remember
Like, we don't see you
FMW
for a
did
couple
something where
days,
they had
too.
the water death match with Mike Awesome, and they had to ride a boat to get into the ring. I'm
Dude,
down. I'm so down.
That was done like
crazy
20,
shit.
30
They
years
did like
ago.
a alligator death match, the piranha
Exactly.
death match where you had to like dunk
Yes.
the guy's head.
Onita's
Yeah.
FMW was the best.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
listen, you're singing
Oh,
you're
my.
preaching to the choir right here.
Wow.
Look what you started.
Hey, listen, I'm
I
good
like
for it. I'm always good for the random like offshoots. You can always count on me for that.
So what else we got going on?
Let's see here. Let's catch the comments up real quick. Good lord.
People are
Stevie's
excited.
so mad he's missing this one. Man of 2023
Yes.
and 2024.
Andre Polino.
Okay. I call him the Pied Piper of wrestling.
We talk about Daniel. All right.
Daniel.
Kids follow him everywhere.
Literally.
That was truth.
Literally.
And then this is going to be a hell of a match.
It is.
Yep.
I mean, all three of them are amazing, and now add TLC's Oh Man. And look, I'll work that. See? If I've already got people in on the idea, you know it can't be that bad unless like they're deathmatch people and like that's their shtick is like they're deathmatch people. Then this is right up their alley. But you don't hear of normal people talking about, yeah, lock me in a cage with some other assholes and with tables and ladders and chairs. This will be fun.
I got a lot of Titans that want that.
Of course.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
Well, the one thing I will say, right? I am the winner of the first Mount Olympus Rumble, and I could tell you, I've done a lot of things that I'm the first guy. I was the very first wrestler you saw in Ring of Honor history, the very first match you saw in Ring of Honor history. You know, very first Titan Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, very first Mount Olympus Rumble, right? I do a lot of things that are first, and I could tell you that if I know these guys like I think I do, it's going to be the honor for them to be the very first winner of the very first TLC match of Titan Championship Wrestling history. And that's one thing that I know, that you could say whatever you want to say about pro wrestling, but being the first of anything is always the best feeling when it comes to pro wrestling. Because no one could ever be first after you. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. This is a momentous occasion. It's history, literally in the making as we're seeing it.
Not only that, Steve, but you were our very first main event on our debut show.
Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Like I said, I have Shane Douglas versus Steve Monster Mac, and I won. So listen, it's good to make history, and whatever little. This is why I said for 27 years I've been doing this for a long time, but there's a lot of moments that I'm very proud of because I was the first, or I was the one that did it before everybody else, or even thought of it. And for me, those are the big moments. That's the best stuff. That's the best feeling in the world.
This is a big moment for each of them. It doesn't matter. I think that at the end of it, it is going to matter who wins the title, who walks away. But at the same time, I think this is a momentous occasion for them. They're all winning. This is a huge opportunity.
Well, the fans win really because, like I said, who ends up in what other match do people go all out other than a TLC like this? You know what I mean? Especially it's the first one. It's for the lightweight title, which has been a title that's been hotly contested again since it came out. You know what I mean? So the fans know that are coming to see this, that match, like how me and Alex are really hyped up for this one, that's how a lot of these fans are too. Even the boys. It's going to be a curtain sellout. Trust me.
And do we still have front row tickets available?
Very, very, very limited.
You hear that, ladies?
Earlier today, I don't know if
very limited. So get your chance. Buy your tickets now. Make those.
Put it this way: they are almost sold out. I mean, front row.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. And make sure you bring a raincoat since there is going to be a Stan Styles matchup. So you might need it.
Well, the other thing is too. I mean, let's not forget we got $10 bleacher seats, so that means you could bring a whole group. You know what I'm saying? And just have fun hanging out watching wrestling. Listen, everybody here on this podcast right now, at some point we all sat in the stands and we're like, man, this is awesome. I want to keep doing this. Literally, all of us, because otherwise we wouldn't be here right now. It's Friday night. Listen, I know I'm catching heat because this is my girl's birthday, and I'm here, and I know she's downstairs. Why is he taking so long? He said it was going to be 5 minutes. Holy God. But it's because I love pro wrestling. I love Titan Championship Wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I love spreading the love about pro wrestling and Titan Championship Wrestling as much as anything else that I've done in my life. You know what I mean? So if you bring your friends down, trust me, I guarantee you're going to want to come back to another show because you're going to have a great time at this show. You know what I'm saying?
Tina says you're in trouble, by the way.
Yeah, trust me. I feel the laser beams coming through the walls.
I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Oh my God!
This is why I'm in the Titan Mobile office for 30 days straight.
I'd rather be in the Titan Mobile office than with a pissed off old lady in the house. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, sometimes you got to make the sacrifice. I've been saying it for 27 years. Are you ready to make the sacrifice? I know.
What else we got? What else we got, Ron?
Let's see here.
Oh,
career versus contract.
This is a big one.
I saw these guys, and man, what a matchup! This is going to be a big deal. This is career-ending, career-changing. At the same time, what went through your mind when you put this one together?
So this has been boiling for a hot minute now. I mean, although they were a cohesive unit as tag team champions, the breaking point to me was when Aaron Roxas had to defend the titles by himself. And he complained to me a lot because, you know, when I was tag team champ, sometimes G's couldn't be there, so Joker was there. Sometimes Joker couldn't be there, so G's was there. Hell, one time both of them couldn't be there, and I had to have Jay Outcast as a tag team partner. So, like, I get it. He was given the opportunity to pick a partner, but he said he didn't get the text. I can't help it. You know what I mean? I'm fair with everybody. But from that moment on, that's where Roxas really, you could see the change in him. And Moran is somebody that I've been dealing with literally since day one in Titan. And I don't think that Titan really was not, like, I don't think Johnny Moran was not a Titan guy. I think what happened was, comes back to that brainwashing with Aaron Roxas. Aaron Roxas whispered the devil's truth in his ear. And Moran was like, you know what? I'm tired of being whipped. I'm tired of putting on the best show and not getting anything for it, not getting the respect. I think that's how he felt because that's what he said. But then eventually Moran woke up and saw what Roxas was really about. And, you know, a lot of weird things going on with Aaron Roxas. I'm sure Billy and Alex can back me up on that. You know, he's someone that's very he knows how to motivate people with his words, and it's very creepy at times.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we need to step up security probably at the next show because we had a little incident at Mount Olympus where Aaron Roxas ambushed Anthony Gangone from behind with a little rag of something that made him go night-night.
It definitely smelled in the room once he did, and some of the fans were like, what's that smell? I'm like,
that's called chloroform, folks.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it's pro wrestling locker room, but, you know, whatever you want to call it.
I ain't been in a locker room that smelled like chloroform. I mean, it smelled like, you know, maybe some Bengay or whatever, that roll-on shit.
Oh, it was definitely a strong smell. Yeah, Tiger Bomb. I know what's
Tiger Bomb. That's it.
Icy hot Tiger Bomb, all that good stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, but see, this is the other thing
really
too.
Distinct smell, but you only know about it for a few seconds.
Yeah, and then you just sleep. But this is the other thing. Aaron Roxas has been a thorn in Billy's side. There's been times where they got physical, and I know Billy. You know, he'll talk about it, but Aaron Roxas has definitely pushed Billy's buttons, and that's why he doesn't work under a contract like everybody else that works for Titan. There's a reason for it. He works on a per appearance deal right now, and he's been wanting to have that contract where Titan can't screw him over. You know what I mean? And for him, that's something big. Whereas Johnny Moran putting up his career, I think that's more emotional. I think he really bought into what Roxas said, and I think it's really pissing him off that he ignored what everybody said about Roxas, and what they said about Roxas came true, and he stabbed them in the back. So it's real interesting to see how this one's going to play out. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a high stakes matchup. This is the very definition of it. It's watching the rise and fall of Roxas and Moran as a very dominant run as tag team champions to now this blood feud that's playing out between them. One way or another, the fabric of Titan is going to change forevermore after this match.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could see the tension literally in the poster, just the intensity of the guys, and just kind of telling the story a little bit about what's going on. It looks like it's something that may have it behind the scenes been boiling for some point, and then you just said the frustration behind having to defend titles by yourself. I kind of get it. You expect your partner to be there. You expect someone to to have your back, and when they're not, it makes things difficult. So.
I can tell you this from experience. One time, I was booked on a show with Moff as my partner, and Moff, he had some car trouble and couldn't make it. And I went into the match challenging for the House of Glory tag team titles, and I did it by myself. Luckily, unfortunately, I didn't win the tag titles, but luckily, when the tag champs try to outmaneuver and outsmart, I had some backup in the form of Mr. Montel Vontavious Porter MVP. You know what I'm saying? Because I got boys like that. But not everybody's got my phone book. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. I get it.
And Roxas certainly hasn't made many friends since.
No, I was just going to say, Roxas don't have friends like that.
Well, I mean, even the comments are saying, well, I'm pretty sure she was talking about you're in trouble. But say they were saying safer for, I guess what I was saying. Oh, Billy being on the road, probably much safer. Yep. And then bye Roxas. So there's that. Moran was tired of the ham sandwiches.
Well, one thing I do love about the Titan Championship Wrestling fans is that for the last year and a half, it started out of nowhere, but some of the kids nonstop now, every show, will call Aaron Roxas the Shermanator.
It's phenomenal.
And that, to me, is the greatest thing of all time.
Oh, my God. You mean the guy from American Pie?
From American Pie, yes.
Oh,
yes.
That's a
non-stop abuse, calling him the Shermanator. And to me, see, that shows the effect on pro wrestling in the community. If there's kids, listen, you're not going to get the same kids every show. But if you get that 1, 2, 5, 10, whatever it is, same amount of kids coming to more than one show every other month or every month, whatever it is, and they remember that he was Shermanator, they don't even know who the hell Shermanator is. American Pie came out 20 years before they were born, but they're calling him Shermanator, and it's the greatest thing ever to me. So, I love it. Like, that's why I love our fans.
That's hilarious.
That is funny though.
Alex, what are your thoughts here?
No, I was just saying, I also, regardless of what the outcome of this match is, I have kind of like a morbid curiosity almost to see what Aaron Roxas is going to do, as his own man in Titan, because he's somebody who was brought in under the wing of Johnny Moran. And we saw in North Carolina in August, him in singles action, that match against Martin Stone, which I think exceeded everyone's expectations.
Yes.
As far as him being able to hang in, a more technical and demanding environment. So I'm very interested to see, like I said, regardless of what the outcome of the match is, I'm excited to see what the future holds in store. Again, like afraid a little bit but also very, very interesting.
Because it's a defining moment. If you think this
Yeah.
is it's things are shifting either way. It's going to shift.
It's either
for both of
I
these
have to
competitors.
give Roxas a contract and complete his time here, or Johnny Moran is no longer with Titan Championship Wrestling. So it's hard for me because either way, I'm damned if I do and I'm damned if I don't.
Yeah, it was actually be the follow-up question, but you just answered it. How do you feel about it? There you go.
Well, for me, I'm interested to see what Moran does if he does win. Where does he focus his career at? Because he is a former Titan Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's got goals that he wants to reclaim that title and become the first ever 2-time Titan Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. You know what I'm saying? I know I did for a long time while I was still full time. So yeah, why not?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the Body Slam Challenge. So
Everybody want to talk about this besides me?
I'm guessing. So what we
Jeff
have
Noyes went out
Okay,
there
yeah.
and said he's unslammable, and I wanted to really put that to the test if he is that unslammable. And SP, the former GM of Titan, had put up $5,000 of his own money, and to say if any one of the 5 competitors could body slam Jeff Noyes, he will pay them. So we're gonna see. I really all that is put to the test.
Okay.
I gotta tell you,
Any clues or who the mystery man might be?
I don't know
person,
who it
maybe?
is. I still don't have. I think this is more of a Billy call than it is mine because I got to tell you, I kind of wash my hands on SP. He enjoys taking shots, talking about how he's the GM, the good manager, or whatever, or things didn't happen when I was GM. Whatever. If you were so great, you'd still be GM. You stupid idiot. You know what I mean? Like I've got really strong feelings about SP and his whole nonsense. So but I will say this: Jeff Noyes is someone that I've known for a while. He's been on the New Jersey scene for a long time. Very strong, big man. As far as the competitors that are announced, Oliver, not so much. I don't know. Jay Outcast might have a chance. Magic might have a chance. Who's the last one that's announced?
TKO.
TKO. Yeah, no, that's why I don't remember who it is because it's TKO. You know what I'm saying? Good.
This comment says he said only the announced wrestlers, so I'm guessing that means the people in this picture. But here's the thing: as a ring announcer, every wrestler gets announced when they're walking out. So they're an announced wrestler. That's called a loophole. And hey, English teacher, right? That guy didn't do his grammar homework apparently, and he's going to have to lose 5 G's.
That is what.
Please clip this.
Yeah.
Please clip that right there so that when it does happen that Jeff Noyes gets slammed, make sure that SP, which we all know he doesn't have $5,000. Look at him.
Now,
listen.
I don't think he actually stated that only one person has to body slam him, right? This could be a group effort. I'm just saying. And technically, Ron,
just send me 5 to 10%. That's called a VIG. You guys are from Jersey. You should understand that.
Yes, you got a couple of points. You got a couple of points there, my friend.
They split the money. They still each walk out of there with $1,000.
$1,000, exactly.
Right. Dude, that's a good night at the Waffle House or whatever you guys have that's better or equivalent.
No, we don't have anything that can touch Waffle House, unfortunately.
Stop it, because everyone goes to Wawa and they all, let me get the sandwiches. When it's Thanksgiving, let me get the gobbler.
No,
I'm not a Wawa guy. Look, hold on.
I'm not a Wawa guy. I'm a quick check guy. So, yeah, I'm a quick check.
You know where I'm at in this country, right? Look what I've got in my hand.
That's awesome.
There is
now
not a
it's the
Waffle
Wawa.
House close enough or a Wawa close enough for me to use this Joker at without losing money on gas.
Alex,
I
what's
have
your
two
go-to
of
for
them.
Waffle
Pizza
House?
now. That's the new craze. I
Wawa
buried
pizza?
the shit out of Wawa Pizza on IWTV a couple weeks ago.
I still haven't had it, so I don't know.
Wow.
I just
not
play
a
a fat
Wawa
guy
pizza.
on TV.
I think Alex was a big fan of Cookout.
Eh,
Cookout, yes.
Cookout's
Cookout was
great.
slamming.
I was
Cookout.
I was so bamboozled by that menu. I was like,
It's out there, isn't it?
I thought the Cheesecake Factory menu was intimidating. That big binder that they drop in front of you, but the Cookout. And then I saw that billboard, and I was like, "My goodness!"
So-
I was get a peanut butter and jelly smoothie. That's what I
That's
go
what's
to.
up.
I don't mind the Cookout. I really don't. My issue is their prices went up so much in the
Yeah,
last
they did.
year. It's ridiculous.
That's
But then again,
everybody everywhere. So
They did. Everybody did. We went to
thanks, pandemic.
I went out and got
Thank you,
a burger
inflation.
today. Two burgers, two fries, two sodas, like $35. Like, oh my God.
Oof.
I stopped at the IHOP last night when I got laid over in Charleston. I
Okay.
stopped at the IHOP, but all I got was the sampler and a French toast. I didn't want the pancakes. And when all said and done with the tip, it ended up costing me $24.
Oof.
Good Lord.
So even when if I, sometimes I get stuck, especially in locations that I'm trying to empty out, I may do like an Uber Eats, a small little Chinese food. Like I'll order like a shrimp lo mein and a wonton soup. Even with that delivery, you're talking it's $20.
Yeah, $20. Yeah.
Dude,
So, so for me, the cost of living on the road for me is extremely high. And,
I'm sure.
it
go
used to be
broke.
$20 a day. It's now $50 a day.
Yeah, not to mention we have to go up to PA this weekend, so we have to pack up food. So even then, it's cheaper. It's still a cost to buy the groceries and take it with you.
If
And
I
this
was
is
in
why-
Charleston,
And this is why, though, $10 tickets are amazing
yes.
in this current
agreed.
climate of inflation around America.
Absolutely.
But
Look at that.
if I'm in Charleston, you can forget IHOP. Like you can forget a whole bunch of shit if I'm in Charleston because that's on the water and they didn't do bad on the seafood. Okay, they were okay on seafood.
Oh, different
Um,
Charleston. I was in Charleston, West Virginia.
Oh, never mind. You were in that shithole. I can't help you there. The only thing I can tell you about Charleston, West Virginia, I built some houses in Martinsburg, but dude, there's probably a hillbilly about an hour and a half away from you that's got some really good moonshine. That's about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
Yeah.
two quick things I was going to say before when you talk about that peanut butter smoothie.
Okay.
Last year, 2 years ago, I discovered Screwball whiskey. Right, it's peanut butter whiskey. Oh my god, I don't drink. It's so slamming though. Right, you mix it with either chocolate milk or grape juice. If you mix it with chocolate milk, it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. It's so amazing. And two, if you mix it with the grape juice, it's like peanut butter and jelly. And it's so slamming. So
Shout out to my distillery. I still have my my bottle of peanut butter whiskey, and I did the Reese's peanut butter cup with a shot. That was phenomenal.
That is so amazing. But the other point that I wanted to bring up, that I dislike SP so much that I swayed from talking about Jeff Noyes and SP to talking about food and inflation, which is a much more interesting topic than anything SP has to do. You can clip that too.
Yeah, clip that. Yeah. All right.
He's so gonna cry to Billy. Why does Steve hate me?
Oh man, I'm in trouble.
What else we got? Ron?
Let's see here. Jacob and Mathers.
This was the
It's a
other
middleweight
match
championship.
that I mentioned earlier as possible match of the night contender
Okay.
for me in the early goings here. Jocko, since winning the middleweight title, has been on a tear. I think winning that belt has ignited something in him because going back, I was talking about the takeover earlier. Jocko was, a member of that group, and when the group went their separate ways, he sort of fell by the wayside. He wasn't getting some of the same opportunities as, PJ Savage or Jay Bougie. And that taste of gold really ignited something in him that had been dormant for a very long time. And he has an enormous chance to prove himself, not only in Titan, but on the independent scene as a whole here, because Marcus Mathers, you talk about somebody who's making waves. Marcus Mathers is, GCW beyond all the who's who companies of the independent scene. This kid is showing up and he's playing for keeps in all those places. We, similar to Joey Conway, we got our first taste of him back in November at the Mount Olympus Rumble, making it to the Final Four with three guys who are much bigger than he is. So really just speaking of his tenacity.
You took the word out of my mouth. Talk about tenacity to make it to the end. Awesome.
So,
and not to mention, he was booked the day of. It wasn't like
really
he had known. He was, or it was like the day before. And it's not like he knew, weeks in advance that he was going to be in a Rumble. You know what I mean? So it's not like, he just, I'm ready. I'm in shape. Whatever. He's always in shape, and he was ready. And he still, like you said, Final Four is pretty awesome. Doesn't matter who you are. If you're in there with a lot of talent. And there was a lot of talent in that Mount Olympus Rumble, and Mathers was one of the Final Four. Right away, it pays off because he gets a shot against Jocko. And I think for the point that Alex is bringing up about Jocko, he took the title off of someone who held it for a year and took it worldwide. Former champ Ray Kalitri, he went coast to coast worldwide, like I like to say. From Egypt to Mexico to California to Florida to Puerto Rico, he defended that title everywhere he went. And, it was going to take a big man to beat Ray Kalitri, and Jocko caught that flash knee and, brought it out of nowhere, and it rocked him, and he was able to pin the champ. And I think that showed proved to himself that he could be the man. And I think that confidence is building more and more every time he steps in the ring. So this is definitely going to be top contender, not even match of the night, maybe match of the year for Titan. First show. It's that good of a match.
And I think also too, Marcus Mathers' presence on the card really speaks to the fact that, you guys were talking towards the beginning of the show tonight about how competitive this Northeast scene is. Titan has become a place where guys like Marcus Mathers, some of these, quote unquote indie darlings, like this is where they want to be. This is where they want to showcase their skills at this level on this platform. And that is why I'm so excited for what TCW has in store for 2024.
And that says a lot about Titan, that you guys have set up and made a place that is conducive to creating this talent, to pushing these talent. And going back to what you said earlier, that sometimes it's those moments where you face adversity, you know what I'm trying to say. Adversity. Thank you.
Adversity.
I could talk. I promise. I went to school.
Are you sure?
I went to school in Northern Virginia. That says a lot.
You said Virginia. Dude, Virginia can't even handle their porn properly. What the hell are you talking about? They definitely can't do school.
Jesus. Hey, if you could teach them how to drive through Harrisonburg, we'll talk.
Sir, they can't drive up and down this coast. I'm sorry, but they can't drive in 75 and sunny out. I feel bad for you starting tonight.
Especially with this.
I'm in a lot of trouble.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But that's why I'm driving now. I'm working past Beckley right now, West Virginia. I gotta come down the 64 and then get into Harrisonburg, Virginia before 4 a.m. because that's when it's supposed to start.
Yeah.
All right.
We have to be out of here. So let's
This person's saying stop knocking Virginia. I was born there. I will knock that one, and I was raised in Maryland. I'll knock that one too. I have earned the right. I paid enough tax money to both of those holes that I promise I can insult it all.
Well, I work in Virginia, so So trust me, I'm in it every day, if not every other day. It's difficult to maneuver.
7 is one of the worst. I hate Route 7.
Ugh.
Well,
50
let me
But as I
just,
was saying,
nightmare.
let me
As
just
I was-
steer this conversation one last time because I got to get off myself soon too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But what you're saying about Titan becoming the destination for everybody wanting to compete, it comes back to my history. My history is I grew up in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, everywhere, Connecticut, everywhere that's considered East Coast professional wrestling. I swam with sharks. I was in there every week. Homicide, Low Key, Moth, American Dragon, SAT, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles. You look at that list of guys that I grew up with, and there's a whole bunch more, right? In my heart, when it comes to pro wrestling, I swam with sharks and I survived. That's why when it comes to Titan, I push for the best of the best to come through. They know if I'm associated with it and I'm the general manager or I'm the champion or whatever it is that I am with Titan Championship Wrestling, it's the place to be if you want to be a serious competitor. If you want to be a clown and pretend to be a wrestler, you're not welcome. And they know that. That's why our top guy, PJ Savage, he's cut from the same cloth as me. You could ask Alex, you could ask Billy, you could ask anybody who watched us. We all come from New York. We all fight from the bottom and come up and crash through the ceiling and raise the stakes higher than ever before. Regardless of what you think or you know about me, everyone who's ever seen me for more than 10 years, more than 20 years, they've all said the same thing about me. I helped change the landscape of professional wrestling, and that's what I'm doing with Titan Championship Wrestling now. So when you see a Marcus Mathers or you see a Joe Ocasio or Vin Pacifico, when they come through, they're not joking. They're not having a good time. They're here to compete and beat the best of the best. That's why right now, starting with Monsoon, you got so much serious competition. And I'm sure someone like Alex, he loves pro wrestling and he loves seeing the competitive side of wrestling the way you're seeing it at Titan. We got one more match to announce, right? I'm pretty sure it's just the main event.
2.
Oh, I'm sorry, two. Even that.
Yep.
Goddesses of War, right? Marie,
Yes.
she's been dominant. And
Yes, she has.
she's pissed about a lot of people disrespecting her. I've seen it. I've talked to her, right? She's a badass champion. But I think in her mind, she feels she's not getting her due. And I can understand that, right? But at the same time, we had someone set up. They got hurt. And we put in someone who's on the come up. I've seen Amity's name all over the place in the last couple of months.
Is
I know
Amity
that
the
she's
one on the left. That's one on the left of
yes,
this picture,
yes,
right?
the one
Okay.
on the left. Yes,
Okay.
yes. She's been on the come up in a lot of places that I follow, especially in New York. So when I tell you that I take pride in where I come from and what I've done and where I've been, this is an example of that. We needed somebody. Hey, we got Amity. Like I said, she's on the come up. There's a lot of females on the come up on the East Coast. Alex can back me up because he sees everything. All the names, just the names that come through Ridgefield Park, right? But no, we didn't just go there. We went to New York. We went to Queens. We went to Brooklyn. We went to Jersey. You know what I mean? Other places in Jersey. Like I said, I want all the best to come through. And when they come to Titan, I want them all to lace their boots up tight. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why we should ever be looked at as a joke. This ain't 1990s indies. This is 2024. We said it 2023, all gas, no brakes. And we pulled that as hard as we could.
Mm-hmm.
Were there mistakes? Of course. Everybody makes mistakes. Were there some slip-ups? Of course. But see, that's the thing. We're not just going to sit by and let things go. We're going to let things, learn from our mistakes, build on the best stuff that we got going, push our best to be better. Because without that, what do you have? You have a bunch of people who are in the ring that couldn't fight their way out of a wet paper bag. That pisses me off when I see stuff like that. I'd love to see fights. Like I said, look at the names of guys that I grew up with. Guys, right now, Samoa Joe, AEW World Champion. I've been hit by Samoa Joe, and I know it feels like getting hit by the baseball bat to my face, and that's just his palm. You know what I'm saying? American Dragon, I've seen him push every one of my boys, including myself, to be better. Who's gonna talk? I'm sorry.
Sorry, no, I feel the passion. I feel it. I'm getting hyped just hearing you, man. It's a speech of inspiration. I gotta say, you mentioned fight, and that's what Marie brings to this. I mean, Alex, you remember at the last matchup that we saw, anyways, together, she drew blood. It was that intensity, that ferocious tenacity that she brought. I'm not surprised that she feels frustrated.
Yeah.
That she wants opponents that are worthy of her title reign. You want worthy opponents. You want opponents going to push you to the limit. And Amity looks like she's ready for a fight, and she might be pushing Marie to her limit.
Well, Marie's going to get a handful. I'm telling you right now.
And I agree. And as I was saying before he went on his word tirade, thank you, Ron.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm always good for it.
Is that Titan is leading by example here. That you guys are making an environment that's cohesive for this talent to push themselves, set the bar, and look at what you're getting. When you make an environment where people love to work and feel the passion, feel like they're being listened to, feel like they're getting the assistance and help that they need to make a better product, you'll see a better product. You guys are the prime example of that. You can hear the passion from y'all.
When we have our pre-show meetings and Steve goes off on his speeches like that, and I see the fans start to line up at the door, I want to just tell him, like, yo, make a Wawa run or something. Like, I want to just listen to this man talk for 10 more minutes,
It's like, we'll go into battle for you, Steve. Like, that's a hell of yeah.
We're gonna catch comments before we talk about the main event.
Yes, sir.
Blocks in his birthday dunce hat. Okay. Blocks, Frankie, Adam, all fitting to catch hands.
That's what's up.
They're gonna get them. Sold out shows, and that momentum is still going. Titan strong, Titan proud.
Oh yeah.
Elevate them hands next Saturday.
Ooh.
Blah blah blah.
Some trash talking going on.
You're mad PJ won't even acknowledge you, let alone look your way. You're pissed I was the one person that stood up to you. Wanted a problem, you got one.
There's some drama going on in the comments. Okay.
I can tell you though, KC is one of my favorite people because KC is not a big man. You know what I'm saying? He's not a big, 6'1", 230 pounds, but he's scrappy. You know what I mean? If you look at a lot of the guys that I came up with, he reminds me of those guys. Homicide is only 5'7". People think he's 6 foot, but Homicide fights like an animal. You know what I'm saying? And I like to see when the smaller guys bring it to the bigger guys and beat them. And KC has that potential. You know what I mean? He's got that heart. Corazón, that's it.
And the main event of this is PJ Savage and Joel Maximo.
Well, originally it was supposed to be PJ Savage and O'Shea Edwards. O'Shea hit me up and told me he couldn't be here. Had an injury or something. I'm not going to go too heavy into it because that's on O'Shea to release it. But I said, you know what? PJ Savage, like I said before, he's cut from the same cloth as me. He's somebody that came from New York, came from Brooklyn, understands what it's like to grow up in the streets, have nothing, want everything, but you got to figure out a way to get it. And PJ Savage has been doing that. We've gotten to war twice, and it's one-on-one. I'm sure we're going to have the third match eventually. But regardless of whatever happens, PJ Savage is the Titan Championship Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. And I know for him, he wants to prove to the kings of New York, the guys like me, Homicide, Low Key, Red, SAT, all these guys, he wants to prove to them that he's a part of their bloodline. We're not all related by blood at all. But when it comes to fighting, you develop that brotherhood, that bond. And I got a tight one with Joel Maximo. I've known Joel Maximo going on 25 years this year. I met him in 99. And I've gone to war. I've taken the Spanish Fly. He's taken my clothesline. One of the coolest things I've ever done in my career was go to Japan. The same week that I was in Japan, I was at Big Japan with Homicide and Moth. Low Key was at 01, my cousin. SAT was at 01 too. All these guys from Brooklyn, from New York, were all in Japan on the same exact week together, from the same hood, from the same everything. Joel Maximo, I've gone to war with, and I've gone as a partner and as opponent. I know what Joel Maximo brings. And if you watch anything on the Indies the last 2 years, Joel, Will, and Jose Maximo have been killing it everywhere they've gone.
Yep, I got
They
to see
take-
them live.
Yeah,
I got to see them
they
live
take
in,
pride in that SAT name, man. It's a real thing for them.
And
If you look at their family, Red is keeping things alive in Queens, New York, in the top New York company. You know what I'm saying? House of Glory. Red is keeping he's putting on match of the year contenders still. And Red only wrestles for House of Glory. He don't work anywhere else. Even though WWE, AEW, Impact, they all shout him out and they all shout out the SAT. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that we do. And if PJ Savage wants to prove to himself where he belongs in that long line of New York competition, in that long line of East Coast competition, in that long line of Titan Championship Wrestling, this right here is going to be the match for him to show everybody what he's made of. Because Joel Maximo, listen, I know Joel, like I said, 25 years. Joel, he could be one of the dirtiest players in the game. Very sneaky, but when I say sneaky, he hits harder than what you expect. He hits like a damn moth. He hits like, who else you could think of? Anybody that's big on the Indies right now, Joel Maximo hits. But then the other thing is he goes and he hits these amazing, innovative moves. You know what I'm saying? He's just and he acting like he's still in his 20s. But he's not. It's 20 years later.
He can fly, he can move.
Exactly.
It's crazy. And
think
that was the
for
fact that I
me-
was able to see it live was fantastic. It was amazing. I got to call that match. That was crazy.
That's awesome. I mean, I got to see them last year, and they look just as good now as they did when I was wrestling them 20 years ago.
Absolutely.
Wow.
What I was going to say is, this was actually just announced a couple hours ago that Joel Maximo was PJ's new opponent, and obviously I'm disappointed about O'Shea, but I'm almost more intrigued now with this new stipulation, because of all of the history that Mac just went into, but also because of the relationship between Joel Maximo and PJ Savage, which has grown especially over the last year or so. Joel Maximo is somebody who's taken PJ in, as become pretty much a mentor to him in recent years, in really the last year over at Wrestling Is Now. They're opening a wrestling school together, right? In Coliseum. So two men who have a very intimate knowledge of each other's skills and moveset and styles. I suspect that we're going to be seeing both of these competitors going deep into the archives and pulling out stuff that we've never seen before to keep the other one on their toes. It's going to be a real interesting clash of styles. You got PJ, who fights that more hard-hitting style, and then you have Joel Maximo, who, as Max said, he can hit with the hardest of them, but he also has that very innovative, high style. Again, there's a reason why the Maximos are known as the fathers of the style today. The indie-rific, spot-heavy style, high-flying that has become really the norm these days can all be attributed to them. So it's going to be a very interesting styles clash. And when you take into account that relationship between Joel and PJ, we can imagine that this is going to be a very intense, very personal matchup and a very deserving main event for a show this big.
Agreed. They're going to be pushing themselves to the limit. They're going to try to one up each other. You know that. And you even said, I was going to say, they're going to go deep into their playbook. They're going to put everything they have and throwing that out there at each other. See what's going to stick and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be a fantastic, crazy, all over the place matchup. And knowing those two, and it's going to clash into who's going to outlast the other one. I think is going to come down to that.
I have to break out, guys. But
yeah, it's the
I hope
end
everybody is comes. Yeah, I hope everybody comes next week and checks out the show. Thank you very much for having me, guys. Alex and Billy, I'll catch up with you guys. Everybody else, thank you. It was awesome.
Thank you.
I love being on here. We got to make something up for the future, all right?
We do.
Oh,
Thank you,
definitely.
Steve.
All right,
Definitely.
guys, take it easy.
Alex, I think you summed it up there. That's pretty much, yeah. It's going to be a crazy, crazy match. I'm kind of jealous that I'm not going to be there. You're going to be there calling this momentous moment here. How you feeling?
I'm beyond ready, and I'm super excited. Titan is just it's my favorite place to work. It's my favorite place to call, just because I can be a fan and I can enjoy just great pro wrestling. And freaking, it's my job. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't get any better.
There's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
There really is. And, you know, I watch a lot of wrestling, a probably more than I should, borderline unhealthy amount. Okay.
I have a problem.
Yeah. But here's the thing. When you get people like Michael Cole, who've been doing it for 20 plus years, still jumping up and down or hooping and hollering and getting into it, you cannot sit on your hands as any part of a wrestling show.
Nah, man. And I tell the guys too, you know, after the show when we're all milling around, and, you know, they always will come up after the stream goes up. They'll, you know, like message me and be like, "Hey man, you know, thanks for the commentary. Thanks for putting me over." You know, I'm like, listen, you guys make it easy for me. The roster, the locker room that we have at Titan, again, I'll put it up against any locker room in any indie across the country. Because those guys, they make it easy for me to stay hype. And, you know, if you go back and watch any of our shows on the Premier Streaming Network, subscribe now. But if you go back and watch any of our shows, you know, the hooting and the hollering that you hear from me, you know, none of that's performative whatsoever.
I can attest
I am that worked
genuine.
up. Yeah. David was right next to me. You know,
no, we were both standing up and yelling. I pretty much lost my voice by the end of the
I
night.
always, when Bojack pounced Blocks, I know obviously like the big holy shit moment of that match was Blocks jumping off the trailer, and that, you know, I flipped out for too. But also when Bojack pounced Blocks from the outside into the ring, because I've seen dudes get pounced out of rings before. Like I saw that viral Ace Romero clip, but when friggin' Bojack pounced Blocks into the ring, I popped like a kid again.
Dude,
So.
it was a pleasure. It's an honor. Anything you want to say to the fans? Anything? What does Titan mean to you? Calling these matches. What does this 4-year celebration mean to you?
4-year celebration. It's you know, like I said, I've been with Titan for almost a year now. It's been an honor and it's been a privilege to be a part of it. Like I said, I can't wait to kick off 2024 4-year anniversary. I'm honored to have helped write this most recent chapter in Titan history, and we spent the last 2 hours running down this card, and it speaks for itself, really. I think.
Right.
Yeah, I like it, Billy.
Man, it's
you sound emotional.
I got
we can hear
a smile on my face because I know what it means to me, not only to me, but to the guys and girls here. It means a lot. And the amount of work that's put into it to execute these shows, it was hard on these guys through 2023 with all gas, no brakes. Alex, if you don't mind me speaking on this, Alex himself, from his show that Friday night, jumped in a car, a bunch of guys, and they drove down to North Carolina, you know, and Alex to ensure that there was, you know, whether it was commentary or whether it was, you know, backstage segment to ensure the fact that Titan had someone there, and it means the world, you know, and and I can't make all these shows, right? Like there's some shows, like I wasn't there at the Aftermath, but you know, as somebody who who's a promoter of the event, to know that even if I'm not there, any occasions when I'm not there, for these shows to still happen and to go without a hitch, it means the world. It just there's so many things I could touch on, and that's why the sacrifice that I make with my personal life, this is why I'm in the truck as much as I am, and do what I do to ensure that this obviously stays alive and keeps going. It's hard, but at the same time, I give everything I can. I'm in the trenches with them, and I believe that's to me, it means more to me than anything, because I'm with them, as a team, as a unit, and words can't describe how awesome. Going into 24 and our fourth year, and the people that are surrounding my team has expanded. So I will be putting up, where people have their own positions and their own jobs here, and it is it's awesome. It really is.
You can hear the pride, the passion in your voice, like just how proud you are of your team, and it shows. That pride, that work, that love that you put into it, it's showing in the talent, how they're pushing themselves and raising the bar and putting on these fantastic shows. You can hear it, the passion, in the fans that are talking trash in the comments, talking back and forth. Like, you can hear it and see it. It's amazing what you have lightning in a bottle. You guys have made some magic. And just thank you for sharing that with us. Like, thank you for allowing us to be a part of it as well.
Thank you. I mean, it doesn't stop.
Right. It doesn't stop. Nothing stops. We got 2 final comments before this show, this live stream does come to an end. Tina chimed in. Titan shows are by far the best out there. Thank you for helping create memories for all these fans. Memories for me and my kids. Love y'all. And then KC, I don't care what anyone says, Billy is one of the most selfless promoters out there. Proud to be a Titan. 2024, the chains are off. Titan strong, Titan proud. Dude,
thank you.
It has been an excellent show. Thank you guys. Alex, Billy, shout out to Picard, shout out to Monsta. We covered everything. It's going to be a great show, and we will be announcing the winners of the tickets as soon as we figure out who they are.
Yeah, because we have to go through the comments. You have to go see who reaches out, comments, liking, and sharing and everything. Yep. But we'll definitely get that information out to Billy. You're missing out on a hell of a show. Put up that poster. Yep. Put up that poster one last time, Ron. Next week, 13th.
Yep.
The 4-year anniversary for Titan Championship Wrestling. Stat card, stat talent. Be there. Don't miss out.
Thank you.
Y'all have seen it. All right, man. So that's it for us tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you back here Thursday night for your next episode of the Wrestling Wire, where we cover all the latest news, happenings, and everything else going on in the world of professional wrestling. Predominantly, we cover the TV stuff. We sprinkle in some of the indies. That's just kind of how we do it. Anyways, thank y'all for tuning in. It's been a great night. We'll see you at the shows.